Welcome to the Infinite Star Connections with your host. I'm Viviane Chauvet and my friend Jeff Demers on a special night today, Monday. No, we're not Monday today. We're Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022, 2222, Sacred Triple Master number. Since Jeff had a happy family event at the end of July, we have chosen to do a special Tuesday evening, special Q&A. Just an hour. It'll be fun to connect. I want to welcome all of you connecting. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Yuvanda, to be here as always. Paul, Lacey, Nathalie, Mike, welcome. Jude, welcome. And for the first time, Lena from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, everyone who are brave one to join us on this Tuesday evening. Yvette, who join us as well. Very happy to have all of you. We are beautiful people. We're always thrilled to be with you. This podcast is possible because of wonderful people like you. So we really want to get a chance to interact with all of you. Questions. We already have question that was sent to us by Simon in Glastonbury, England. And since Simon will have to catch the replay, we want to honor his questions today. Jeff, how you doing, my friend?
I'm not doing too bad. Everything is good on my end. Just a little tired from the day, but no big thing.
Okay, good, good, good. I am very happy to hear that. And I know that usually we're on Sundays, but August will be a bit different with the Lionsgate. We're here today, and then we're going to be here again next Monday. Yes, exceptionally next Monday on the Lionsgate Portal Day. That's right. From 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time will be an hour special on the Lionsgate. And then we also have a wonderful meditation for the Lionsgate next Tuesday, August 9, free meditation. Let me show you on the screen right now. This is the link to register for free. Just reserve your spot. We're going to be doing a beautiful meditation right with the Lyran soul aspect and the soul code of illumination. So make sure you join us for that as well. Gosh, there's so much going on. It is wonderful to take the time for all of you to connect. Yeah, it is the Leo season. It's the season of alignment with our sun, the star Sirius, the earth energy. And I can feel that. I can tell you, Jeff and everyone, the moment we start entering into August energy, I could feel it right away.
Well, what is
I,
that Lions Gate? I don't really partake to that, but can you explain a little bit further on what that means?
well, the Lions Gate also speak of that really powerful alignment with sun energy, the star Sirius, and the earth. They create that beautiful conjunction of I like a portal of energy. From my experience, Jeff, for what I've
Mhm.
witnessed over the years, is that when that conjunction open the season of Leo with the portal in Lionsgate, it brings a lot of Lyran and Syrian energy. So I have observed a lot that beings, whether it's animals or even beings, come from those places, Sirius and Lyrans, they are more active. I can feel the energy. I can feel their consciousness. Um, if you have pets, sometimes a lot of pets will either leave the planet during that time, or new ones will come, new soul will come. There's a lot of energy. It's a time of renewal. It's a time of regeneration on the planet, and the Lionsgate, to me, it brings such a level of revival. Um, and, and Natalie from Canada was asking about how to get the most of the Lionsgate. It's very much a time where it's time to clear your space of the clutter. Uh, Let go of the naysayer, let go of the rumors, let go of those who are simply out there in the community to spread either conflicted information or to claim the monopoly of their place or whatever it's going on. It is a time of discernment where we're opening the sacred veil. It is a time where we are bringing in the earth receive new codes of light and activation. It is a time of renewal. It's a time of stepping into that beautiful, beautiful point of connections. And the Lion's Gate for me always feel like it renewing my energy. I feel more powerful. I feel more attuned. I feel that my connection to my star, my intergalactic star, is also revived at a time. So what to get and how to get the most out of it, Natalie? Clear your inner clutter. Take the time to meditate. Feel the energy of the sun coming from your crown chakra. Welcome the star of Sirius. It can also really help you in allowing yourself to align with the earth and to feel that you are renewing that connection. And I'll tell you something interesting happened today. Right before our podcast, a phrase came to me, and my Arcturian group was telling me, remember to walk in life with strength and divine presence. Walk with life with strength and divine presence. And that's what they told me today. To feel that you are reclaiming almost already your sovereignty as a being right here, right now. And there's no more distraction like powder shed into your eyes. You're opening the field and say, I, every day, I walk in strength and in divine presence. Divine presence implies that you are more attuned to with yourself. You're understanding more your body language. You start to understand more the pulse of your own vibrational field. You become more present. And this way, you're allowing that discernment to take place. And yes, there is such grace in that message, is it not? Thank you, Stephanie. So, Yolanda, oh, I love that message. That's what came to me today, and there's no coincidence that that message came on the same day as our special Monday. What did I say? Monday, Tuesday evening podcast. So, yes, and we'll do well next week when we do our meditation. You will see we're going to walk you through what the Syrian, the star Sirius is for you, and we're going to be walking in the presence of the Lyrans with the Syrian's energy coming into that beautiful, beautiful support system.
Okay, now I got a question for you. Now, we all meditate, right? There's a certain process that everybody follows here on the earth. Okay. And
Right.
it works pretty well. Okay.
Yes.
Does that same process work at other areas like Arcturians? Do they do the same type of meditation, or is it different for different types of beings?
It's a great question. So, will the word meditation or the methodology behind meditation will apply the same way as it is perceived here as Earth humans versus into the intergalactic groups like my Arcturian? That's the question, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, the concept,
Because we breathe to get to that state, but they don't breathe because they're already light beings. So they just boop, they're into that space or something. Or
yes, we are. It's already an inquired state of beingness. Think about it. What is meditation as a tool here in this reality is about? Is to help you reach inner peace, connect, release distraction of the mind, clear your field, clear your thoughts. It's a tool, it's a bridge to help you be in that state of divine contemplation. And it's a tool to reach that level of interconnections. So if you are let's say, an Arcturian or an Andromedan, and you are millions of years old at a soul level, thousands of years old in the body, you've already reached that level of cosmic contemplation and state of beingness. It's become a way of being. There's no longer this kind of practice have changed because you are in a different state of evolution. Your soul evolved at a different level. Here on this planet, on the 3D level, as we are shifting back into higher vibrational state, we're rising our frequency, we're reawakening to our nature. These tools that we call deep breathing, techniques, like the Heart Institute teach about the heart focus breathing technique, which also teach to clients and even during interviews. That's a tool. Meditation is another tool. Everything is to invite you to be in that space. Now, the word meditation is also has connotation, and some people will feel there's a barrier behind it. Again, mental distractions. How can I stay in my space for a longer time and be in that energy? Well, if the word meditation seems to be a mental obstacle for you, what I would replace it with is simply a state of calmness. It's a meditative state where you allow yourself to be in your field, clear your mind, clear the cluster of everybody else bombarding your field with, whether it's emotion, mental, concept, information. Things are moving fast, changes on the planet. Bring yourself back into, yes, that connection of the heart, opening your field to welcoming your higher self, in a sense, to be able to breathe and feel that you are in a space. And some people have ringing in the ear because you may be more attuned to vibrational tone. Acknowledge the ringing. Tell whatever consciousness is connecting to you. Tonality, ring in the ear, it's a form of language, it's a form of communication. I always says acknowledge it. So let's say you meditate or you are in that peaceful state and you have a loud ringing in your ear. Okay. What I would recommend lovingly is redirect your focal point to that ringing. Just listen to it for a moment and tell the ringing, I see you, I recognize you. Now, what is the next level of the message? Help me understand. Is it an attuning of or it could be an attuning of your own internal gateways that are reattuning your nervous systems, creating tones. I can hear my own nervous systems shifting. There's tones that comes from nervous systems. So it can be maybe your own self reattuning to higher frequencies. It can be messages that you're receiving to tonality, different vibrational state. So it is important to very much recognize what is coming to you, and you have the power to says, okay, now I'm asking the tone in my ear or the ringing to diminish, and let's bring it back to a point where I can connect with you and bring it back to your heart. But that really some little quick technique that I always recommend to people, because I know that more and more people are becoming attuned to those hearing or the buzzing in their ears. And you can tell we are shifting vibrationally. Your body as a conduit is shifting to hold these frequencies. You're getting attuned to different vibrational languages that transcend just the verbal communication in the 3D. It's all part of shifting out of density, three-dimensional linear time, and moving more into a higher form of consciousness, fifth-dimensional connections. And I know I see best way to describe. Thank you, Joanne, Lena. Thank you very much. I get various tone. Yes, I can see that. Um, Let me go back in the chat room. I want to again acknowledge everyone joining us right now. I know we've been very busy talking and answering questions, so thank you for being here. Um, wow, there's so many beautiful people joining us. Elizabeth from Norway, Reverend Deborah Jaco. Nice to see you, Crystal. Good to see you. So I'm going to go back in the chat room to see. Um, And so meditation is just, and again, an invitation to step into your own sacred space. You'll know what approach works best for you. Just trust. Do you sometimes, I think you meditate, Jeff, don't you?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I do.
Well, let's talk about from your perspective, helping Mike to see, for example, how will he know that it's working for him? Can you share about how you do it?
Yeah, well, I do it. It doesn't take me long because I've been doing it for so long that I can get myself into that state almost immediately. A lot of people, they have to work into it, which is totally fine. But it's like perfect practice yields perfect results. It's just the way that it is. And you just keep at it, you keep at it, and you can just feel yourself. I feel myself like lifting up. And then I just get so relaxed that I can just about fly anywhere. And that's what it feels like for me.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you
Almost like
go.
sleeping, but not quite sleeping. But you know, it's hard to explain. It's probably different for different people too. I mean, not everybody will do it the same way.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's very personal. Again, it's simply the art of entering into a sacred communion with yourself, helping you to really, it's almost tuning in into your own internal universe.
It's like
And
standing in your energy. I mean, that is a powerful statement. But once you understand how to stand in your energy, ain't nothing going to stop you. Nothing can hurt you.
very well said.
You
Very
have
well.
this field around you that is like armor, damn near.
Yep. Exactly. That is very, very well said. Well, we have another good question. I'd like to hear what the Ponti have to say about this question coming up again from Natalie. Natalie is asking, can you define frequency and vibration and explaining what is the difference between frequency and vibration?
It's very easy. Vibration is your how your heart is beating versus everything inside your body uh, coalescing together. Okay, and a frequency is different. It is when you start to send and receive um, to whomever you want to communicate with. You have to align your frequency with that individual or that ET. Okay, and when that connection is made, then there's another one called resonance, and that is when information can exchange back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and after resonance, which is this is in my second paper coming up, it's called harmonization, and that's when you literally become one with, like, say, an ET, and information back and forth, feelings, everything that you do, everything that they want you to know can be exchanged at that point. To harmonize with somebody is very, very difficult. Okay, so it's vibration, frequency, resonance, harmonization. Okay. When Judy came to me, she asked, "Do you want to meet?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not? I got nothing to lose." Well, then she actually prepared me to meet her, and that's that vibrational state. And then when she came, then the frequency was adjusted between us both. And there's a lot of technical reasons for that. So because they are very higher powerful being, so are zetas and whatnot, and their energy can really hurt you if they're not careful, and because you're so vulnerable at that point that you can be overridden really easy. So when she did all that, she fine-tuned everything and brought me up to her speed. She came down to my speed. We kind of met in the middle, and that could be the resonance that you would have. And then a harmonization started, and then the exchange of information. It was just amazing. You realize how small you really are. So
Yeah. Yes.
vibration, frequency, all that in a row. You
Yeah.
can't jump to the end without starting from the beginning. And it all starts with meditation and just being one with yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is why it's important to really, I would say, even on a day-to-day practice, even if it's just conscious breathing, let's remove semantics and labels here. Beyond meditation, it's really much the art of coming back into that conscious breathing with yourself and understanding What have I absorbed from others? And to be able to clear your own field. And you may have absorbed people's emotions, thought forms, intentions, whether it's what's coming to the planet, changes in the earth field, in the grids, changes even around you or even in you. So breathing into that consciousness within yourself allows you to understand what is the alignment within yourself. So you already, that vibration, that oscillating of energy is what allows you to increase your frequency. And I like the way you talk about the resonance field, because through the resonance field, there's a lot of information that can be conveyed and exchanged at this higher level.
Yeah,
So I
no.
love
What also that also means, Susan, you can have a bunch of people in meditation, and when all that happens, and you get your vibration, your frequency, resonance, everything is pinpointed, directed to you. So the more that you get into it, and you're in like a group meditation, and say like if one being decides to appear for this one person, the other people ain't going to see it, even though that you're all involved in the same meditation, because it is for you.
it.
Okay,
Hmm.
and that's how they could. You could be in these group meditations, say, "Well, nothing happened to me," and the other one would say, "Well, and I just seen something that was so beautiful." It is because that it is detailed and designed for you, and
Hmm.
that's how they can do that. Them
That's
too.
a really good point you're making, Jeff. And I want to give everybody an example of this. Um, we just did our first retreat in Phoenix recently, and then on Saturday night, we took our small group to do some stargazing. And one thing I was getting more a lot adjustment is that on the way to the field, we walked through like a little bridge, and many of us felt immediately a dimensional field, like we crossed some dimensional energy. The body was already reattuning. I could feel a vibration going to my jaw. Others were in the upper part of the face. And here, canal clairaudience was a lot of attunement. And so when we reached our destination, we stayed there for a while, and then my Arcturian group was starting to tell me telepathically, everyone in the group need to readjust their vibrational field so it's more in cohesiveness with each other. So you, in other words, you don't have somebody vibrating super high, others super distracted over here, others are. It's like looking at a field. Everybody has a different level, like atoms just
Mm-hmm.
floating around randomly. So we have to adjust our vibrational field, how our vibration was shifting and moving to be more on a more equally pace, if you want. The cohesiveness of the group was very important. And like Elizabeth here in the chat room mentioned, to feel like frequency is like a channel that you're reattuning yourself from the vibration from what you are emanating. Always says, be mindful of what you emanate in your field, whether it's your belief system, emotion, thoughts, the beliefs. That can be the belief system of somebody else that you are reproducing to your field. So coming back to that night, I also had to attune myself, and what I did is I sent a conscious signal from my heart to my group. And what I saw physically with my eyes is a big portal opening in the sky, beautiful blue rhyolite with a touch of bright violet color. And I physically saw, and I received at the same time a transmission through my third eye saying, okay, we're here in a light presence. We're here in our holographic form. Tell the group that we are here. You want to connect with us. We have responded. So I convey back the message to our group and says, okay, instead of focusing on the physical craft itself or the ship, we are going to connect to the occupants. We're going to connect consciously through to the Arcturians. The portal is open, they're present. And we stood in that energy, and I felt vibrationally around us a shift that allowed everyone in the group to become still. And we all came together looking up at the direction of the portal, even though the portal was already open at the time. But we came in unity consciousness. It was calmer. There was no chattering. There was no distraction over the phone or devices. We came together. And all the transmission came, and I was able to convey multiple messages. And to the message was also the frequency of the message coming in within that resonance field that we
Mhm.
have created. And that took place that night when we were at the retreat. Um, so I really, really enjoy that moment, and I want to share that with everyone that this is more where we're heading to, more conscious connection. It's not about, oh, what ship are we seeing in the sky, what shape is the ship, what color is the ship. It's about connecting to the beings, opening consciousness. And I think that's a really, really big one.
Yeah, shared consciousness is a totally different subject, and we can go on and on about that one too. But that is also very, very powerful.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Crystal is asking, how often do you recommend meditating?
I do it every day. I mean, sometimes twice a day. Just when I feel like I really need it. Well, it is different for me because you know once you see these guys, you want to be with them all the time. And in order for me to really be with them, I have to be in that state, and I just want to be in that state all the time. So every chance I can, I really try to get into there, and I don't have to sleep or anything. You just get into it. You just everybody does it differently. I always put my fingers like this because I can center my energy, whatever, and that's how I do it. And when you see me doing this stuff, it's just I am getting into that spot. But you don't have to do all the breathing techniques. I guess that works for some people, but I can never get into doing that way. It doesn't work for me. So
Okay,
but it might work for somebody else. I don't know.
perfect. No, I think it's I love your answer. I think it's perfect. Um, Patricia is asking a good question. I want to address that together, especially when it comes to physical symptoms expression. She's asking, how do we know the ringing is not um, tinnitus?
Tinnitus.
Yeah, tinnitus.
It's like the clicking.
Yeah,
Now it's
in the ear.
that is interesting because that's how the Zetas talk, and you can hear the clicking of the Zetas. So I always kind of figure that that could be the Zetas talking, but it also just could be the wax popping in your ear too.
Okay. So how someone can make the difference between through that sound or a ringing that can be a tonality, a perception, or opening of the clairs. We have to remember that your clairs are also involved, your clairaudience, your capacity to perceive different subtleties of sound frequency. It can be to a clanging, a ringing, music. I personally have heard angel music, or sometimes I hear voices. They sing like it's a group, and what I do is I consciously zoom in, and they know that I can hear them, and I just stay in that energy and it subside. But in that question with Patricia, um, how could we be make the difference of knowing between the two?
Hmm. I don't know if we could even answer that one because there's so many physicalities you have to check on yourself first. I mean, a lot of the tinnitus is just like I said, is just wax build up inside your ear. Sometimes you have wax on your ear and you can hear your blood flowing too. So I mean, that one's a tough one.
Okay. Okay. Well
But
then,
but we have recorded zetas
we do.
communicating in a clicking fashion. That sounds just like tinnitus. So I mean, that's a tough one.
Okay. Well then, here's the question then: Is it also possible that if it's something that is on the physical level that the body produces, what is the body is telling you? Is it possible that it can be past life related, where in a past life the person maybe had injury around here, or may have been some residuals? Remember, the body will speak symptoms. What is it that needs to be open, clear, resolved? What is it that the body is telling you through that physical symptom? Everything is interconnecting. Everything.
Yeah, I don't know. That was above my pay grade, unfortunately. I mean,
I,
it could go, it can go any, you know, it can go anywhere, you know. I
yeah.
don't know.
So, well,
I mean,
like,
that could be, you know, pressures of your body. It could be high blood pressure too. I mean, your ears are very sensitive to the minuscule thing that's going on in your body.
yeah, it is. But if
You know?
if it's blood pressure, for example, or even your own nervous system readjusting, or any form of labels, you have to understand how this label or that physical symptom came about. What is the root source cause behind it? And what is it the body is teaching you, telling you that needs to be addressed? And that would be also a way to make a difference between um, what is between a ringing of tonality and what your body's language is letting you know. Remember, the body constantly produces solutions, whether it's a ringing, whether it's a digestive system issue, whether it's asthma. The body will create something to let you know that something bigger that needs to be addressed. This is why meditation, or allowing yourself to take the time to breathe consciously, to connect with your inner universe instead of being so busy with everything else around you, allows everyone that connection, that return of that sacred connection, to understand what is going on in your inner universe. What is the body is want to get your attention on? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But once
But
again,
yes,
the
go on.
loudest sound I've ever heard is the sound of silence. It's deafening.
Well, again, you need to be attuned to be able to even hear it.
Yep.
And that's the point here. So it's
Yep.
about being attuned to oneself,
Yes.
all
Yes.
aspects. Yeah,
Agreed. 100%.
beautiful. Red Rose have a question for us. She asked, how much are we creating, and how much of what we experience was part of contract before we were born?
Is she talking about a timeline issue here?
No, it's about, and I know because I know where she's coming from this. Sometimes people go through life situation. It seems like it's one obstacle after another, a lot of life changes. There's like a lot of thing going
Well,
on in one's life. So how much?
sometimes, sometimes in your life, it's not all about you. It is about how you affect other people. So if you have a issue or a problem that you have to overcome, that might affect somebody else's decision to achieve their goal.
That's true, though. That's another point. So you have to see that. Remember that you're here by soul design. Your
Hmm.
soul blueprint contain all of the choices, the alignment that is best suiting your soul for this particular journey. And it's also, like you said, Jeff, helping others to grow. So sometimes we go through situation where, whether it's with a spouse, whether it's a coworker, colleagues, neighbors, and all of this, we have to understand that it's not necessarily all everything I have created around me that it's reflecting into my life. Is to understand that we're also teachers for each other.
Hmm.
We're also there to support one another. So at that level that you're asking, because I know you are, Red Rose, I would ask yourself, to your higher self, help me understand what life lessons I have already learned. And at that level, you can ask through your higher self to release certain life lessons that you feel it's already been earned. And you're allowing you to move forward through the to create new form of experiences. And that can be also ties up with, let's say, from past life energy that you've come to heal, and it may have been already done. But sometimes we get stuck in certain loops, And we need to recognize when it's the same repetition, because in repetition, there's great teachings there. And like Jeff said, you also may be helping others to grow. They can be also part of the full agreement. You see what I mean? Does that resonate, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It isn't always about you. It could be how you affect somebody else, and so on and so on and so on. I mean,
exactly.
I think that it is very possible that you can complete your life's work and still be here. A lot of
Exactly.
people are under the impression, well, when I complete my life's work, I'm dead. No, not necessarily. Some people never complete their stuff and they come back here, but some people do complete it early, and you know they just live to help others.
Yes. Yes. Yes, because we are very much, you know, interconnecting with each other. So of course everything is an invitation to learn, to grow, to expand. Everything is that sense. Very much so. So listening to your intuition, that's why again it comes down to the same foundational is get to know who you are in your own inner universe. Before you go to bed at night, take the time to decompress, change the body alchemy by letting go of stress, anxiety, thoughts, release all of this. Just take some deep conscious breath. You can take a shower, let the water fall on you. Allow yourself to say, I choose to change pace. I choose to clear my field consciously out of the influences that I may still carry in my field, whether it's known and unknown. I know it sounds simple. You may say that, some people think that if you have really high, super complicated techniques, it's the best, but it really is not. It's returning to the essential of living. And that's part also of what the enlightened intergalactic groups are teaching us is get to know, rediscover who you are in your essence. So it's very important. We have a question from Jan. Jan is asking, do you recommend meditating while singing a mantra? Can be with or without a mantra for meditation.
Oh, you can definitely meditate with the music blasting. How many people have done that and you get into a good state? There is that's another good question, by the way. There is an app on my phone that generates frequencies. And there are times, especially in the wintertime, that I want to listen to a frequency before I go to bed. And it really does help me get straight to sleep. I would just set it for like the love frequency, and it just goes, and there's on a timer, so it doesn't go all night. And it just instantly it gets that little vibration in the bedroom, and it's just like boop, perfect. But
Exactly.
yes, you don't have to go in silence because silence is a killer. It's
Well,
loud. It's loud.
well, again, it's because what happened is that as a civilization, humanity has gone through years to get attuned to sound and noise all the time. We're returning to the sacredness of very deeper listening and listening to the soul. Imagining if you can listen to your body language, listen to your soul language, listening to the guidance directly from your higher self. It will be extraordinary, but we are returning to that point. This is what we're here to help, really encouraging everyone to return to.
I
And
wonder if
yes,
you can probably go to sleep listening to sound bowls, right? I would think
sound bowls.
similar. Yeah, just a little tonal sounds and just put you straight down.
Yeah, just like a background that create a
Yeah,
background white noise
yeah.
that simply tone out everything else, allows you to be able to relax and get into that theta state, relaxation. I personally use acoustic theta sound in my headphones when I do healing in person with clients. We know we have a big Giza copper pyramid that Peter creates, and when the clients lay down in the Giza pyramid, which become a healing chamber, we do have acoustic theta sound, which allow the body to relax much more, relaxing the cortisol, relaxing also all the stress, the anxiety, the mental energy. It helps to really get into that deeper state of relaxation. So that could be also a way to listen some gentle acoustic sound, like theta that open that state and allows even to travel. You can get out of body and travel and come back in your body much more refreshed and centered with yourself. I see lots of comments around colors. So the frequencies of colors, of course, it's a form of intelligence. Each color spectrum or bandwidth will have different energies. The
Hmm.
way it works with you. So if you see colors, pay attention to which frequency of colors you're seeing, at what level, how does it speak to you? Do you feel that maybe it goes somewhere in your body? Take your body, listen to where your body is also telling you. You know that gut feeling that we get in the solar plexus, or that feeling in the heart when your intuition talks to you. We need to come back into that simplicity and yet powerful state of functioning and being every day. It's very important right now.
Just another point on that about the colors that you see. Be very careful when you meditate that you don't get too relaxed, that your blood pressure drops to a point where you'll see different colors also.
What do you mean by that, Jeff? I never heard of it.
Your heart is much slower, the blood pressure is slower, and then you'll get yourself to see different colors, and by having a lower blood pressure. Just gotta be careful that you don't get too far down.
Mm. Let's just say, for the sake of today, that probably is that would be more reaching a really high level of mastery. Most people, the heart rate is still safe and still beat, and
Mhm.
there's no
I,
there's no
I
danger there whatsoever.
I just want to throw it out there, so just
Okay.
gotta be careful.
So mindfulness of how deep you go in the meditation, is that what you're saying?
Yes, because the slower you breathe, because I wanted to know, and I was asked this past weekend about meditation, right? What is meditation? How does it really work? And I asked Sarah, give me a real technical explanation of how meditation works. How, you know, slow your breathing down. Well, what does that do? What that does is that the molecules in your blood are acts like resistors. Okay, so the more you breathe, you got more oxygen in your blood, and everything is great. But when you meditate and you slow down and you breathe, you have less oxygen in your blood. Okay, and that allows more energy to flow through you, and that's how you're able to receive and give. Okay, and you know that's why they do this. Okay, because it allows the blood to flow through with no oxygen in it to stop the energy from flowing through you. Okay, you get that?
Okay. Well, that's an interesting perspective. Okay. I guess it's higher discernment and state of presence is
Yes.
important then in that case. So let's say for today, let's agree to disagree and we'll move forward. That's why we love this podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness. Joanne is asking a really interesting question. Is it safe to call for underground beings to show themselves in your backyard? Well, Joanne, again, what is your intention? What is the goal of connecting with underground beings? What does it mean to you, underground beings? And I would say, always high discernment. Use your protocol of light. You don't call beings just to show them, to ask them to show up in your backyard. I would say mindfulness. Ask yourself, what is it I really wish to accomplish here? Am I ready for this? And what is it I'm asking for? Because that's, to me, it's playing with,
Most people are not ready to see an ET. Trust me.
yeah, that's the thing. This is
It
why
sounds
we
like a
get
great
them.
idea. Sounds really cool. until you see one, and then you run home to mama. So
Jeff, I love your sense of humor. It's delightful.
I get the point across.
Oh, loud and clear. I know I shared that multiple times before, but when I saw this Lyran, this female Lyran in her form, physically in my space, even myself, I have to reattune. I have to consciously reattune my nervous system to be able to hold the impact of her presence here. So, is it safe to call for underground being? At this moment, there's too much going on. There's too much that needs to come to the surface. There's a lot of clearing, purging things coming into the planet. I would say ask to your higher self for higher guidance.
And
And
ask for confirmation.
yeah,
Ask for confirmation.
yes.
There's a
And
lot of tricksters out there.
yeah, exactly. And again, protocol of light. Are you of the highest light? 3 times. Ask, are you of the highest light? You need to ask, reveal yourself to me. What is the intention? You have to be firm and very centered into your light. Um, at this point, I would say no. It's not a good idea. Not right now. Because that's the other thing that needs to be cleared. And it will be always being of all spectrum of light. You need to be ready. This is why we do what we do. Both Jeff and I, our guests, the podcast, all the events we do is to help you get really prepared in all level. That's a good point you made, Jeff, about that one. That's a good point. Alrighty. Cynthia, so good to see you here. She said, question, every time I connect with the love I feel for our planet, I feel goosebumps on my spine. Does it mean I am elevating my vibration?
I would think so, yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Does it feel?
Yep. She's on the road.
Yes.
When stuff like that happens, what I tell everybody that I want to listen is go with it. Just grab a hold of it a little longer and do it again and a little bit longer. And before you know it, you can get it right away. You just got to hang on to it just a little bit longer every time you do it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Well said. Well said, Jeff. Cynthia, I know you. I know you are. So yes, my dear, your connection to Mother Gaia, it's so beautiful. You're carrying the Sacred Mother in you. You're very nurturing at the heart, and I know that about you. So that goosebump, that energy flowing to your spinal column, you know that this is your way of elevating. Your vibration is shifting. You're connecting to Mother Gaia. You are allowing yourself to attune yourself to Mother Gaia. And this is how you do it. And I love that about you. So that was a great question. Great question. Wow, there's so many amazing comments. I mean, you
Keep it going, man. Keep it going. Come on.
keep going, everyone. It's just whew, perfect. So again, helping some people like to use vocalization, singing, tonality, humming during meditation, which helps to clear your pineal gland. But here's a fun thing about it, and you can tell me what you feel about it, Jeff. When you tone or just and you carry the sound, what you're doing is that you're generating those beautiful vibrational waves of sound through your own throat chakra.
Right.
So your body absorbs those sounds, and that's extremely healing because it comes from you.
Right. You actually are the vibration.
Yeah.
I get mine from System of a Down, but it's another point. So.
You know how much it is absolutely a pleasure and a privilege to co-host this podcast with you, Jeff.
Same here, dear.
Everyone, you can feel the love.
I mean, who would spend their evening with an actual hybrid? I love it.
Yes. And you are always been so supportive. I want to publicly recognize you because you're very supportive of me. Whenever I feel a boost or guidance, something, you always says, look, Pumpkin, I'll tell you the thing. Here's the thing. And you always go for it. And I love that about you. And your t-shirt today, it's such a powerful, very loud statement. Recognize who you are. Recognize who you talk to. Grays are grays, Arcturians are Arcturians, Ponti are Ponti. We are very distinct from each other.
Yeah,
Very.
sometimes these guys are a pain in the butt, but they're okay. They're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Already. So there's a few questions about Arcturian. I don't know where you get that Arcturians may be myths, but Arcturians are real intergalactic, very advanced civilizations, are millions of years old. They've been around for a very long time. We have reached a level of unification and enlightenment that transcend what possibly be comprehended at this point, which is why we have a few of our people on the ground to help to bring back this knowledge. So we are very real, very tangible. And Jeff, you have had first hand experience with my own Arcturian father. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I
and
mean, this guy is massive. He reminds me of Poseidon, and so every time, because he's a light being, my perception of him is Poseidon. So he shows himself to me as that, so that I can recognize him. But typically, he's just the tallest blue dude that is just huge energy, radiating powerful energy. But yes, your father is one badass dude.
I will come in a message. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, we're a force of nature for sure. I have no idea if King Arthur was actually Arcturian. Um, I never felt that connections between King Arthur and Arcturians. Who knows? It is potentially there. What do you think about that? King Arthur being potentially Arcturian? Jeff?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Well,
It's another good thing to research.
yeah, we'll do some research on that one. This is the first time I've been asked this question. Although I am very fond of the King Arthur legend and the knights, I do have a resonance with them to the legend and also the virtues that they brought. So this is something I'm going to be reflecting upon. That is a really wonderful, wonderful question. Let's talk about parallel universe. Yay! Absolutely. Question from Cynthia. She said, do you think it's possible to change or jump to a parallel universe by changing our vibration? The reason she's asking because Cynthia, she said, I recently got a Mandela effect experience just after getting being unwell physically. Like there was an experience for her. Do you think it's possible?
Well, I think every time you sleep at night, you dream that you could very well possibly go to another dimension, and which could also include one of your timelines, which would become a deja vu in this lifetime because you've seen yourself doing something before. So it's very, very possible.
Yes, yes. Well, here's the thing. We are vibrational beings. We're multidimensional holographic beings. So think about it. If other parallel reality can collide and co-temporally exist with this reality, then you too can do the same. It's all about vibrational state. And I'll tell you another example of this. Oftentimes I will walk down the streets and turn around, and I can see a man or woman walking either towards me or standing on the street corner. I can tell you, physically, I can tell you what they look like, their gender, what they're wearing, and about their age. And in the blink of an eye, like a blink of an eye, they're gone. So I've come to realize that I have this ability to perceive people or being or parallel reality that coexists here. The thing is that this 3D density field has been very, very limiting for how many generations people have been trained to think of linear time, past, present, future. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. It's 8 o'clock. I have to get up. I have to brush my teeth. I have to be at work. Everything is very structured in that linear time. But that linear time of thinking and functioning is non existing anywhere else. So it's like coexisting and creating a bubble of time, and we think that that's all there is. Now we start to understand there's more to it. So parallel universe, parallel realities, multidimensional aspect, it's all part of the fabric of space and time that we are part of. So of course it is possible, Cynthia, in that sense. Does that make sense?
To me, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Could you imagine us in a Dyson sphere? All these realities?
Yeah.
And how many Dyson spheres are there?
I'm telling you, it's really much about exactly returning to that space of resonance with yourself. This is why it's important. Who are you? What are your gifts? Allow yourself to take the journey, to be able to clear the clutter. It's like it's like a garden, and the more you clear the space and the soil become rich with oxygen and nutrients, then it can produce the most phenomenal harvest energy of flowers and crops and phenomenal, you know, abundant. So it's the same thing. It's we are in a space where we are shifting back to another level of living, being guardian of the earth, being in sync with each other, recognizing each other for our true sense, stopping the judgment about, who you are and what you say or what you represent. It's about our essence. We are returning to that space more and more. So it's absolutely, Crystal is saying, I love this. You should do this more often. Yes, Crystal, we'll take that into. Um, Victoria is asking, what are the purple flashes I have been seeing for about 35 years? Purple flashes. Well, Victoria, the question I have for you is that in over a span of 35 years, which is impressive, have you ever attempted to understand what those purple flashes means to you, and why is it a flashes? Is it an orb? Is it a flash of light? Is it a consciousness? Is it your group of being, your guides, your spiritual advisors? Who are that consciousness? Have you ever take the time to really again meditate into the higher state of interconnectedness and says, okay, I have been seeing purple flashes for a number of years now. Now it's time for me to get in vibrational resonance with those flashes and understand what is the purple energy behind it. Sometimes we see light ships in the form of flashes, orbs, consciousness, elementals. I mean, our dear friend Daryl is an expert in taking picture of consciousness form of orbs. I mean, you can see sometimes like somebody's grandmother or a
Mhm.
love pet or a presence of someone in the form of orbs, right? Remember with Daryl?
Yeah, I mean, orbs can be, you can have like 50 consciousness in them. It can be just one. They're like Ubers. And it might not even be human. It could be ETs too.
Ah,
I mean, I got videos in the house here. They're just like there's so many. I just stopped recording them.
exactly. Exactly. Um, that's exactly it, is that we are rediscovering that we are coexisting with different form of consciousness, sentient life form,
All the
whoever
time.
may be beyond, right? Physical and
All the time. Yep.
all the time. So whether it's to a tone, a chant, color frequency, flashes, orbs, presence, a feeling. I like what Nathalie is also saying, that beyond the loud ringing that started in her ear, she said, I also attribute this to the ascension symptoms, the opening of my clairaudience being activated. I love that comment, Natalie, because that also shows that we are shifting and there will be some symptoms. Remember, your body and all of your senses, including your multidimensional senses, are reattuning to shift, whether it's frequency, vibration, tones, energetic movement. So, of course, there may be some symptoms like this. Again, it's the art of decoding what is best in resonance for you. whether it's blue representing grace, or it can be representing that, oh, this is a vibrational signature of my star group. You see the difference? Yes. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Well, I can go one further. About the Ponti, right? Mazzini, same ones, right? When I see them, they are like at the end of Ghost. You have Patrick Swayze, right? At the end of Ghost, right? And I could see them, but I can't. If I look directly, I can't see them, but if I move a little bit, you can see them, right? My wife can't see anything because it's not vibrating or resonating to her. She knows something is there, but she
Yeah.
can't see it. Well, I know something is there and I can see it. Okay, so a lot of that, what she's talking about with the uh, uh, flashes of the light, is very, very similar.
Yeah.
It is for her to see.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. Love it. The purple flashes are for you to see. Like
Right,
that night, that portal coming from the consciousness of the Octurans was for me to see.
right.
So
That's the fine tuning of the frequency and the resonance.
beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my goodness, everyone. I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on this really unique Tuesday evening podcast. And for those who will be discovering this replay, it's available right now on YouTube, Facebook, on the Infinite Star Connection podcast page on Facebook. Like us, subscribe. There's so much more. August is going to be very active for us here. We're going to be back here live next Monday, August 8th, for the Lionsgate portal, right at the conjunction of the 8-8. We're going to be back here for another hour special. So make sure you join us. We're going to be here at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on August 21st, I believe, let's
Right,
look at the calendar. Yes, then we're coming back after that, regular Sundays, August 21st. We have a really nice guy coming to, I said guy, I meant guest. I apologize to our guest. A very nice person coming to our podcast, Isaac Mars, brilliant young man I met in Manchester. And we'll talk about what Isaac knows about physics, relativity, and quantum field and beyond. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. I wish we could have answered every single one questions, but we're very grateful for all of you. It's incredible. You've been so engaged with us more than any time before. We're going to do this more, Jeff, because two thumbs up.
well, they could email me their questions and I'll just keep a list and then we'll get to them so we don't lose them too. So
Yes, absolutely. And yes, Jeff, like Natalie mentioned, you're welcome to join us for the Lionsgate meditation we're going to have the next day on Tuesday, August 9. So, hint, hint.
we will see.
Beautiful group. You are amazing, Jeff. Everyone who's listening, we appreciate you greatly. Stay in your light. Remember, I walk in life, in strength, and in divine presence. And I walk with life in strength and divine presence. On these words of love and wisdom, we want to thank everyone for joining us. On behalf of both of us here at the Infinite Star Connections, we will see you on Monday, August 8th. 6 p.m. Pacific time. Merci. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you, my friend. Much
Thank
love,
you.
everyone.